Welcome. Here we are live, and we're live from
What
your
up?
welcome,
How you doing?
welcome to Dead Man Talking Live, the aftercast with your host Blaze Your Dead Homie and your co-host Jamie Madrox. My friend, how you doing?
Yeah. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing? So you're
I am
hitting
doing. I'm doing better now. I got to see that five
I,
minute
I got
exclusive. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He said I got it. He said he balls break. Yeah. I got to see that exclusive 5 minute deal. I talked through a little bit of it because I was excited and I wanted to not talk to the whole entire thing. But I'm excited. I want to see more. I'm hype. I'm hype at the chance to try to put people up on game about what Astro's doing and how they got content and just
yeah.
spreading
Yeah.
around anything that really keeps our people engaged in something that we have going on, because we always
No,
got
that
shit
was
going on.
awesome. That was awesome. And like I said, right now it is still very much in the go because they are very 100% they're working on Astro 4. They're because it is so far up in advance right now. It takes place in February, I was told, right? Is that what time we were talking about?
I believe so. I believe
It's
that's
still
what.
back, okay, because I know we started in February this year, and that's when it went down. So, and then things started shutting down a month or so afterwards, maybe a month and a half afterwards, and then and things have started to slowly open back up, and so things are still they are still working like as if everything will be open and back running and ready for
Astro. Hold on. Hold up.
Astro 4, correct?
Wait, say you said
Okay,
you
see,
stopped that you stopped right before you said everything
I
up and
said
running. You were saying for Astro, right?
they're all working towards everything will be running like it's ready for Astro 4. Like so they're working to get ready for Astro 4 like it is going to happen.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so it's not
Yeah,
stopping.
no, these are not ordinary people. These are very, very extraordinary people in Mike, George, Dustin, and the elite crew that work with Astro, Chuck, everybody, the
Yeah,
content creators, everybody down to the people that have its best interests at heart and are keeping the dream alive. That's why I say
right,
extraordinary
right.
people, because like the
For
effort
sure.
put forth is not it's not unrecognized. It is absolutely recognized, and I want to make sure that more people recognize the hard work and effort that these guys are doing to keep the con dream alive right now. It's in these
Right,
trying unforeseen times.
right,
I think
right.
it's good. I think it's a good thing. I'm excited about it.
Okay.
Good shit.
So
It's good shit.
we were talking a little bit about game out because I was telling you one of my favorite parts about Astro is the gaming room and some of the gaming and stuff that people have some of their sections with games and
Right.
things of that nature. Now I saw a lot of cool shit, not to mention like games are obviously one of the things. Like I saw a lot of cool things, like I kept showing that cup that I got there at the pool party, but I also received plenty of different things. Like I've seen a couple of different they were all types of cool custom things there too, like
Oh
people
yeah.
making their
Oh
own
yeah.
things
Yeah.
and boosts and things of like and cups and like I seen like
Mhm.
I got a coffee cup the first year and it's an Astronomicon cup and I still have it. It's one that I still drink out of to this day. But
That's
what I was
fresh.
saying is we started kicking it about games and I had made up a list of like maybe the top 10. And since we were talking old school, I was going back into like maybe my top 10 games of a Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
Wow.
Super
Let's do it. I'm in.
SNES
I am
game.
in, my friend.
So, and I said, and this is the reason why I said, if there's a time we want to kick this off and maybe we can bring in Dustin, I'm sure he can contend. Maybe he has a contention to our list. Maybe we bring him in at some point and ask him if he has some games that maybe might push off of my list and put onto the list, or do
Onto
we
the
create
list.
the ultimate? How about we create the ultimate top 10 list?
That's what I wanted. I wanted to be crystal clear here that we were in fact building a list that would be the unanimous
Okay.
games. Is that what we're applying here? I want to be sure I know what's going on.
I am down. I told you we could.
Do you say you have a list? You have a list of existing games.
I have a list that is debatable, and I want to say, do we put some of these games out that I have on here, and maybe somebody else's game? Maybe we start off by asking if everybody else has games, or
that's cool. Let's do that. Let's do that because I know my knowledge of games would be on the old school shit, but or games that I played arcade or just, you know, game fandom, like meaning like the iconic characters that go along with and corresponding to games, arcade shit like that.
Right.
Like, you know, Inky, Binky, Plinky, and Dot or whatever the ghost from Pac-Man. God damn it. I didn't say them all right. There's a couple I missed. Clyde. I think I missed Clyde.
Yes.
I think that's who I missed. Honestly, I think it was Clyde. I think Clyde's the orange guy.
That's great.
But yeah, so there's that. But so that's about the gist of me. But yeah, I might need someone like a Dustin to be my go-to guy on that because I would pale and
I got some that are coming in that are already on my list, and I have one so far that I've seen that isn't. I've seen one that wasn't. That was the Sim City, but I've seen Mario All-Stars and Super Mario. Now, Super Mario was definitely on my list. Super Mario World, that is definitely on my list.
I would say anything with Mario, and it would be like list worthy because just the see, we need to make another list of I'm making a side list. I'm making a side.
I'm telling you, this is tough because you got some good ones here. I got people
I want a
that are definitely making my list too. I have a few of them that have also made my list. Do you want me to kick off my list first? And
yes. I think you should. I think it should be clarified what we're because I want to build the sidecar list. Go ahead.
Let me kick it off. This is in no particular order.
Start again. Here we go.
Let me kick it off in no particular order, okay? Because I don't know.
Oh, no particular order.
There's no real. I'm just throwing them out them random. That's why I said this is debatable. All of these games are debatable, but I'm gonna throw it out there that it starts off with Super Mario World. We already said that. Okay. How about Mortal Kombat 2? Because this is one of the first ones I think they made. So I'd have to go there, even though there are better Mortal Kombat games probably made for the system. Maybe there are. Maybe you go 3. Maybe there's different ones. But that's where I think they started with all the blood and stuff. Legend of Zelda.
Wow.
Legend of Zelda, A Link to the Past. Okay. About Super Castlevania.
Really popular.
Okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Come on.
And you can go either way with either one. Arcade or the one where you're running around and you got to swim through there and
Super NES when you had to go down the ladder and into the sewer and swim under the
remember that?
That's the shit.
Yes. Okay. Super Punch Out, which I still play to this day.
Killer.
I don't know why.
Good shit.
Gotta beat it. Still do. Final Fantasy 4, which is probably one of the better ones for Donkey Kong Country. And then I got Chrono Trigger, which I still play to this day, and Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which I also still play to this day somehow.
Interesting. The last 3 fell deaf on my ears, but I think that is that your feedback or mine?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm just making sure. So anyway, I think that I never knew that the blood only came into play in Mortal Kombat 2, as you said. That was an interesting factoid I did not know.
I think that was one. I think that was for sure. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, I would just say because that would be me. I would be more with the blanket statement. I would be like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. You know what I mean?
Street Fighter 2 was 100% was on the edge. That was a tipping one where I was like, do I conclude this game? Because I got to go more, I got to go higher, like 11 games, maybe 15.
That guy. Fuck yeah, dude. Killing it.
There's a bunch, man. There's a bunch of cool games. Like, I see people throwing them out. Mario Kart.
Blanca, right? It was Blanca.
Legacy of Kain, that's for PS2, was amazing. Tecmo Bowl. I don't know if that was Tecmo Bowl on Super. I know. Okay, Street Fighter, I'm getting a couple. Virtual Fighters.
Double Dragon. You know what I mean? Come on, dude.
This guy, updated news from
elbowing the whole time.
Updated news It went
So
by
good.
too fast. I missed it. Damn it.
What happened?
I seen some updated news on some Tony Hawk, and it went by too fast. It said something about August, maybe a release, the re rendition releases. Okay. So yeah, I seen in other news of gaming, I checked out some stuff because I seen this game. They're releasing this game called Bloodstained 2. It's Curse of the Moon, and there's a new trailer out, and I had ended up checking it out, and it reminded me a lot of Ninja Gaiden, and that's why I kind of thought, I was like, it made me think about this whole top 10 list of this SNES, because I'm like, that could make my list too, because that was one of my favorites too, man. Like, for real. They had
Ninja Gaiden was awesome.
But for this one, like this one that's going Bloodstained 2, the guy looks like they we have multiple characters. I think it's like 5 different people. So they go through it, man. It's crazy as hell, though. Yeah,
that's fresh. No, that's
if you got
fresh.
time, check out the motherfucking YouTube trailer for it. Bloodstained 2, Curse of the Moon.
Are we talking so like are we talking like, is it like a shoot game, or is it what
it's
is
like
it like
going sideways and you slice them with the motherfucking with a knife or a katana, or you're shooting somebody. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
crazy. It's absolutely crazy how violent some of the games are. It's insane. It's crazy. I know that's insane, but that's
Mr. Ryan, I do. All right.
Yes.
I was just answering somebody's question. Mr. Ryan said 25 to life game. Blaze, do you own it? Shotgun is on it. Yes, Mr. Ryan, I do. I have it on, I think I have it on I might have it on both platforms. I think I have it for sure on Xbox.
And this is Mr. Riot's favorite game?
I don't know. Because I really I tried playing it.
He just shouted it out.
I can controls are way different. Controls. Way off. Different kind of controls. I don't know if it's me or you glitching this time, but I think the controls are messed up, in my opinion. So it's really tough. It's tough to work. So you know what I mean? Like, whereas you play GTA, I think it's San Andreas, and it's real easy to fucking lock and get lock on.
I always thought those games were cool because of the how they like added in all of the live music and the different channels, and essentially you're cruising around in this car and you have a radio station and you can pick. And to me, that was just like really, really cool, like a really progressive kind of thing for a video game. Like I'm sure that's like fucking old hat now in the video game world, but at the time first seeing that, I was like, hold up, dog. I was like, they're playing this? You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, man, they play all kinds of shit. Like, whoa, that's wild, man. So that's cool. So on a music perspective, I like how they cross, both of them, so that they could, like, that's cool. I love when shit comes together to balance, promote. That shit's good, man. Good shit.
My favorite was when you put the game in and it starts going for a little while, and then just out of nowhere, this dude starts running with a shotgun down the road, and everybody
shit.
Shotgun, double barrel soda.
Wow. Fucking like, damn, dude. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. I just, like, I've seen a few of them. I've seen a couple. The kids play a couple. It's like I see like. It's also fascinating as a fun fact note. I'm also fascinated by the idea that kids now watch other kids play games. Yeah, that's different. I'm trying to figure out the proper wording, because I'm not the smartest of chaps when it comes to that. But I want to say that's a generational thing that really kind of never. What's different to us, like, only reason you would watch someone play the game is because you had next, and you wanted to make sure when they were done that they got out of the way. You got that's my quarter on top. That's my quarter.
Before that, they had quarter. People used to put quarters on there when it first started.
On the ledge, right? On the fucking ledge, right there at the edge.
Yeah, and they had a little thing on there, and you have to put it in there, and that means you had next.
You had next. I got next. That's my quarter. They're like, that ain't your quarter. Like, yes, it is. Fuck that. That's my quarter. And you would be very adamant about it, because had it would have been a popular game, or more importantly, a new game that came to your local arcade, fuck yeah, you had next. I've been waiting in this line for like 3 hours. I remember when the Boys Club first got the fucking Pitfall, and it was the biggest thing in Atari. And the Boys Club had a fucking game system. The line to play this shit, the wait was hours. And everybody happily waited, because that was like the most futuristic shit we had seen at the time. That's all I'm saying. It's like, so yeah, you're gonna wait. I got next, motherfucker. Yeah. And when you get to that 3-4 out, you just line your quarter up and put my quarter up there. Fuck that.
I mean, most games at that time were too, like, there were only certain games where it was like you need to like you need a little bit of skill with it. You had to go up and down with stuff and like hold your, you know what I mean? Like
I would button slap. That's all.
Basketball.
That's it.
You know? Right. You were talking about like, the ones that came out that were just mostly about mashing buttons. And that's like Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 2. And you're just out there beating the shit.
That's it. There was a more evolved version or of the Turtles game at the time that had came to the arcade and was I want to say a 4-player, and everybody, which was awesome, because then it cut the lines in half, because now you were playing as a team, and it was cool because it was building social skills at the same time while playing video. Oh, come on. I was like, geez.
And he's got some games, Dad.
But that was so cool. That was scary, but it was so cool. Like it was kind of building your social skills with other kids, because you somebody you didn't know, you're like, come on, Donatello, pick up the slack, and you're talking shit. And you know what like. It was interesting, because the same was with the X-Men game. Any multiplayer games for that fact. But
you're yelling at somebody who's sitting next to you.
Come on, I would get yelled at. They'd be like, "Come on, Michelangelo, you better pick up the slack." I'm like, I'm just button slapping, like,
pick it up. You better hit that.
Just killing it, because you don't want to be the one everybody talking shit to. Like, oh, we lost the shredder because of this motherfucker. Thank you, Raphael. Appreciate you. And you're like, oh, damn. That's so ridiculous. Kids are cruel. Kids can be cruel.
Kids are very mean.
Kids are very mean. Kids are very cruel. But that's how you get a thick skin about
it. Like, why you sitting there bullshitting when you keep getting grabbed by the hell from the back, like with your head locked and shit.
Oh, in the game, yeah, hell yeah. Like, come on, dog. Like, that's how much funny about that South Park episode. Oh shit, that's good. Holy shit, that's
get on the surfboards and you just keep getting hit.
Yes. Now, what was that? Cool. What was it? What was it called?
That one was Ninja Turtles.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. They did do that too.
Arcade. I just seen that's the arcade one for sure.
I just seen a cartridge. A cartridge game came through my feed, I want to say like within the week ago. And it was like, I want to say it was like, I had seen it. And I swear everybody had it, or it came through your possession at one point in life. But I want to say it was called like Cool Games or Summer Games. And one of the things was you could skateboard, surfboard, or something else. Maybe BMX bike or something. It was a three game game.
It was real. It was like a Nintendo game somehow.
Oh, yeah. Like a NES. Like the gray cartridge and shit. Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. That game was fucking awesome. When I seen that, I started instantly smiling because I was like, fuck yeah, dude.
Got that on that mob, bro. I'm telling you.
Remember the California games?
Yeah, them old ones. Yeah, them old summer games, like California games. Yeah, that was one of them too. California games where
that might be what it's called. That might be it.
You got the hacky sack.
Oh no, that's not that one. That's dope though. That's fucking dope. Digital hacky sack.
The seagull coming by with the hacky sack.
Oh my god, it's got surfing, it's got everything on it that you're talking about, except for the hacky sack and you jump. You like do the jump up and you turn around. It's like a move. If you turn around,
if you hit BBA, all of a sudden it'll kick flip over to their homie. He can tap like Jesus Christ. Like how much more cooler and exercise is it to just go do it for real? I mean, if it's only you, then after a while it gets a little old. But kicking the hacky sack around on tour used to be the shit.
Yeah,
That's
I broke my
hella lit, dude.
wrist
That's
kicking
fun.
a hacky sack. I have a dead wrist from that shit.
For real, and it could be, and it could be a lot of exercise too, though. You know what I mean? It could get you, that'll get you sweating, that movement,
Get you up and moving.
that'll hustle you up. It was fun. That was good shit.
I was real about the hack, yo.
He said,
I
hack is
broke a
life,
limb
baby.
for the hack, yo. I broke
He
a
said,
limb for the hack, yo.
I got a Blaze Your Dead homie hacky sack story.
Whoa, kill it, kick it.
So the first time I ever worked an event for any of y'all, it was Gathering of the Juggalos. I want to say 2006, maybe.
Okay.
Blaze Your Dead homie, driving with him. He sees a hacky sack circle. Now we had some time, you know. We was just out strolling around, and he's like, "I'm gonna stop here. I'm gonna go play hacky sack." And I'm like, "All right." And soon it turned into like a 40-person hack. All right.
Damn.
So Upchuck the clown comes over because he sees the gathering around Blaze.
I see where this is going.
And he's like, "I want you to come over here and host the wet t-shirt contest."
Okay.
So Blaze is like, "Okay." And I don't know if he really wanted to do it or not, because then he played hacky sack for like another 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And they have the whole tent chanting Blaze, Blaze, Blaze to get him to come over. So we finally
Now he feel obligated. Now they chant his name. He ain't got no choice.
In the hacky and sacky. You
like, I stopped to play some hacky sack, and now all of a sudden, yep, you got blazed right into it. Golly. Well, look, all I was gonna say, I was gonna say,
playing game. You know, you start playing a game of hacky sack. You don't want to be the one that doesn't get the hack.
That's where I was going.
Now you walk away, and
that's exactly where I was going with it.
Because the shit used to be going good, and now it is.
Well, no, and that's also the thing. It's like I was gonna say that was full circle for me, because playing the 4-part turtle game, and then you fuck up or somebody's fucking up and you talk shit to that person, it's even worse in a hacky sack circle, because if you get it going and it's like full revolution a couple times and then it drops and it's like, oh man, hell, get out of here, done. It's like sometimes it's better to leave the circle than to stay there for that abuse
thrown at you.
Right. You're just like, get it.
You're getting sacked on sacked.
You know, this is one of them things. It's like, man,
you're like, you hit that guy in the balls with the banana that one time.
I did.
Shit!
Yeah. I threw that bitch like a boomerang. That's crazy. I didn't. I think it was aiming for you.
I don't know where it went, but
whatever. But yeah, so
tremendous.
I have 2 random questions, if you don't mind me kicking them down, since we have a guest here. I know he popped in on a game thing, and we can go back to that too as well. But I want to ask. I got these. They're very, very random. These are very random. Okay, number 1, if you could play a sport professionally, what sport would you play, and what team would you be on?
Hockey, Philadelphia Flyers.
Wow, nice moves.
Real quick with that.
That was nice. That was very, very, very
you
real.
Could play a sport. What sport would you play, and what team would you play for?
I think I would pick an astronaut, and I would say NASA.
Damn.
No, I don't know. Like, seriously, like, I don't know. You know, you've always liked the Pistons, so I figured you would go with that. But that you like a team that, and so can you say that? Can that be the answer? Can you say that I want to go back to the 1980 Chicago Bulls and I want to play basketball with Jordan and Rodman and Scottie Pippen? That's what I want to do. That's my answer. Fuck that.
You're specifying
that's what I want to do. If I'm gonna work the answer, we're gonna get it good. We're gonna make it real. Like, God damn it, he made that worth the while. He got to play with the legends. Like, fuck yeah, dude. That's a good one. What do you got for me? Anything?
That is so tough to answer right now. Like, I guess what it would, like, it all depends on like time frame. If you're talking about going back in time, then it'd be that's tough.
I'm opening up the question to maybe make it a little more answerable for someone like myself who doesn't really know current sports.
Even for me to say right now, it's like, for instance, the Red Wings, love them, but for right now, They are not very good. They stink
I was
beyond stink.
thinking.
Then you got the Pistons, who are also okay, but not very good, kind of stink. And then you got the Lions, who are supposed to be on the come up, but also have been stink upon stink. And then you got the Tigers, who are also kind of been stinky because they're in a rebuild. It's like everybody's in a rebuild in Detroit, except for the Tigers or the Lions are not supposed to be in a rebuild. They're supposed to, if they don't make the playoffs, their coach is supposed to get fired. But I don't know how far that goes with the fucking pandemic going on. Are they really going to stick to that word? To me, it's tough. Do I pick somebody that's even going to have a shot at doing anything, or do I go over to Las Vegas where the Raiders play and I hang out with John Gruden, and then we do it moving our way from Oakland all the way to Vegas, and I'm drinking every night in the Oakland casino and gambling every day? God damn it, I'm going to the Raiders.
And I'm going to the Raiders.
I honestly thought that you were going to go somewhere in say the Pistons during like the three-peat where it was just fucking everything, and that was like this.
If you could be part of it to change history, it would be
no. I'm not saying but that's you're adding all kinds of validity to the question. I was just saying,
that's the problem. The Pistons only won 2 championships, and if there wasn't a phantom call in Game 6 against LA, the Pistons in 80, I think it's 87 or whatever, 88, the year before, they would have won a three-peat instead. But there was a phantom like foul call on Bill Laimbeer, and it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Nobody knew if it was going to be his last year or not. So he ended up going to the line. He makes he ices the game, which he should do. And they win the game, and then they force a game 7. Well, Isaiah, like, basically he rolled his ankle, and everybody knows about rolling your ankle. He basically rolled his ankle and played the game out, had the game of his career to get to this point for them to have the lead to where they can call this phantom call. So he
looked away. I'm making sure it ain't me, goddammit.
History thing. We have the lead. History's changed. So it's like, I would rather do that. But that's what I'm saying. If it's like, if we're talking about going to where we're going right now, I'd say yes. I go straight to I'd probably go to the Raiders because they're going to move into Vegas and just do it.
To clarify, I was approaching the question from a fantasy question perspective. From the fantasy perspective, that if I would be able to play such sport that I would be good at it per se. So I would, in theory, if I was to play with the great Jordan, Pippen, Rodman in that Chicago Bulls when they were just on the tear, I would assume that I would have been able to play and everything would have went. There would have been no butterfly effect. Just for the fantasy question, I thought it was fun. I thought it was very random.
Good question. That's a great question.
Like if you could play a sport, because I know Paul used to play basketball and I know you used to play football, and you switched life takes you down a different path, and it was a fantasy question. I thought it was kind of fun.
Yeah, so that's pretty
another
cool.
One. Let's see. If you had a time machine, what decade would you go back to? The 50s, the 60s, the 70s, and or why? And keep going. I mean, any decade that you like, Tommy boy.
Wow.
And why, or why would you say that?
Yeah, blow.
And again, in theory, being crystal clear, not saying that you would create any butterfly effects or do anything different. It's a fantasy question. Let me lay the groundwork. I would say I would go back to the 1980s so I could see from an adult perspective what the toy shelves look like. Because in my eyes, from a kid, because toys are so important to me now, and seeing
which
photographs.
Year did you say?
What's that now?
What years did you say? I'm sorry, 19.
Oh no, any one you want, 50s, 60s. I picked 80s. I said 80s.
Okay.
Because I remember vaguely going to the toy stores in the 80s as a kid. And when you're a kid, it's like a kid in a candy store. Everything is bright and colorful, and it just neon lights and Jeffrey, and it's all beautiful. But to be, as you got older and you went back in there, we would always gravitate to that one particular aisle with the collector's items and stuff like that. So to go back and be an adult. Like, you know, I wonder what it would be like to look and see, like, the Series 1 G.I. Joes that you talked about earlier, being right there on the peg, all of them, all 12 of them. Whether or not you can buy them, that might be going against the rules of the time machine. But just to see, that would be my choice. The 80s, and that's my why. That's my why. That's my 80s, and it's why. Because it's just a fun time machine. You can't do shit. You can just go back and look. Like, what would you do? That would be what I would say.
That's not bad.
That's kind of fun. It's from a learning perspective, like figure out why shit, like, or, you know, like why do the bubbles yellow? It's just shit I'm passionate about.
To me, it'd be, I'd have to go, I don't know if it's, you know, I'd say it'd have to go with the era of whenever, like, I think it's the 50s, it probably ended up doing. I don't know for any particular reason except for to see, like, the dominance of, like, Gordie Howe and Ted Lindsay and that, like, that whole line and that, like, Hacky, when it was, like, Hacky in Detroit, because I seen the second part of it, like, I seen part of it when Detroit was doing it again with Iserman and their squad, but it was like before that, way back in the day, it was a whole different squad and they were fucking killing it too, but it was a whole different style of play too. I mean, but then you would also see, like, some of the football greats too, because the Lions were actually good at that time too. They were winning, you know, what would be a championship before the Super Bowl ever was attained. And I would be like with hope, as I was when I grew up, I was like, oh my God, the Lions are going to win next Sunday. They're going to be the greatest.
Right. Well, you always want your team. You're always hopeful that your team will win. It's the one you represent. So of course, you know, that goes without saying.
Yes. But
when they did win, you would be
hyped about it, and they would have won. And you would have been like, yes, my team kicked your team's ass this week.
And that was the bragging rights that most people, adult wise, in that time era took to work, and was water cooler talk, and, you know, talk shit on the line and whatever, you know, hey, my team kicked your team's ass, you know, like, and people would get passionate about that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, that's different. What about you there, Dusty?
If I had to pick, I mean, I have two in mind. It'd either be the 70s or the 90s. 90s would be kind of like your perspective. I just want to go back to my childhood area and
like get an adult look at it. That's right.
And then the 70s, because it was the 70s, man. There's so many, like, stories from the 70s.
He said it was popping off.
I want to see what all the talk is about.
It was a hip time, man. It was a hip time.
Hip time, man.
That's right, though. No, but you're absolutely right. That's a good one. I would also like to copy your 70s, and I would also go back for that very reason, just to walk up and just the level of just be like, hey, man, you think I can hit that? Oh, sure, man. We're just going to smoke a lid. You know, it's everybody just happy and shit, like, because everybody's stoned.
Yeah, Quaaludes going around.
Plus from a fucking pot perspective, to actually taste and or grade the pot from the past to the shit you have today.
Yeah, original strains. And
that could be dope too. That would be a cool time machine thing.
It's hard because I've seen people come up and say, like, the 60s had their revolution of music, and that's good. That's a good reason too. And the 70s also, it had great music there too. So it's tough.
This is people in the comments saying that.
You're even trying to go, like, music wise, but if you're going, like, entertainment movie wise, you definitely are not going back to, like, the 70s.
I mean, it's like, to me, and again, it would only be.
You have to remember, you get disco with some of your rock.
With some of the 70s, yeah. Well, no, what I was going to say is I think it would also be cool from, again, a learning perspective, to be there and to maybe sit in, or to be a fly on the wall during, like, the beginning stages of animation, to see who came up with that, who thought we're just going to paint these cells and just keep photographing them, and or like to be in the room when Matt and Trey Parker decided to say, let's do this stop animation thing, and how into it were they? Did they go to CVS 7 times in one night to get construction paper? Like, I get into shit like that. I want to know the creative process.
Cracking the whip, drawing shit up and stories, figuring out who Spider-Man is and whatnot, and fucking fantastic.
That would be cool, though. It would be cool, though. Like how everybody says that I don't know why they say that, but there was always that imagery of Jack Kirby and always being like at times he was very unhappy with drawing and stuff like that, and him for being, you know, creating or actually you know, illustrating so many characters and so many great comic book storylines, and to see like, was it really like that, or was that just how the story kind of trickled down the, you know, like I like dumb shit like that. Like that would be great to you know, maybe meet somebody who was dead. You know, again, like in theory, you couldn't go back there and be Biff and bet on all the teams and win and be this future baller. You know what I mean? Like that would be against the rules of the butterfly effect. But what I am saying is like for an education purpose, like Sherman and Peabody, you go back to look at something to see, you know, how or what to, like, that would be killer. I think that would just be a great idea. So thank you to whoever submitted both of those two random ass questions. You guys, that was very entertaining.
Those are fucking gig ass random
ass kick ass, man. Those are really, man,
they're really awesome.
They're fucking awesome. I have some other shit. You have anything else you want to go into? But I have some other things. If you don't,
I mean, like whatever you want to kick. Do you want to kick some? Kick it off.
I have a few this or that's. I collected some. I collected some data.
I'll add to your this or that's. I got like 3 of them, but I'll do. Okay. You go first and do yours.
Okay. Well, I like when we do have a guest because it's awesome to hear other people's opinions as well. I'll start with the first one. The first one was Gremlins or Critters.
Wow.
I'm asking, so I can't answer first.
That's tough. That's kind of tough for me. Go ahead. You answer.
I guess it depends on what I'm going for. Chris, Blaze, you want to go first? Sorry.
No, he said for I think he said for you.
Kick it.
He said, go ahead. No, go ahead.
It depends on what you want to go for. Gremlins 1, I feel, is like sort of like a holiday movie, and Critters is more of like a horror movie. So I'd probably go.
Is that crazy though? Wait, now let me just say something. Is that crazy because of the implication of a Christmas tree and it automatically making it a holiday film when it was intended to be a horror movie? Believe it or not. Although Gizmo is cute as a button.
He is, but he was also a Christmas present.
I mean,
he was a Christmas. You're fucking right. He was a.
That's what makes it a Christmas movie.
He was.
Wow, bro, blow my mind. Okay, so is that a unanimous Gremlins?
I'm like, no, I
said Critters.
Really? Okay, I'm picking Gremlins.
He's on Critters.
Stop. Wait, right. Say it again.
He's got Gremlins.
Say it again.
Okay. He said Critters. And I would, like I said, I'd lean towards Gremlins because of some of the, you know, like some of the cool shit that I remember from, but it's like, if we're talking about Gremlins 2, it's killing, but Critters also has some.
I think it's just, again, it's just a blanket statement of franchise versus franchise, because there's like 5 Critter movies and there's like 3
Critters. If you're going for scares, I'm saying Critters kills it, because Critters has critters crawling out of the toilet. And nobody likes that.
No, was it? I think.
I mean, it was one aspect, but it made it creepy.
Exactly.
Did they really crawl on the toilet? Creepy. I thought they rolled. I thought they rolled on the ground and they ate you with the teeth.
Bro,
they came out of the toilet.
It was Critters 3. They come out of the toilet and they kill somebody.
You go to 3. I don't even think I
believe that was the cover gentlemen, of Critters 3 was them in the toilet.
Oh my goodness. I thought that was.
I'm just saying. To me, that's why I think Critters 3 beats it, because Critters 3 is more like a scary movie.
That's insane. Okay, well, I'm gonna pick, gentlemen. I'm picking Gremlins. I'm sticking with it. I think, to me, I think that as much as I would be terrified if you went to go get a drink out of the refrigerator at night and it was a motherfucking gremlin and they're just eating some shit, I'd be like, man, oh hell no, get the broom or something. Like, I would be terrified.
I mean, we should probably like do a body count. We should ask somebody to do a body count for us and see what the body count is between Gremlins.
Kills between Gremlins and Critters, just even part 1 to part 1. I'm down. Let's find that out for the next episode. That is something we can write that down.
All of them.
All of them. A fucking entire body count. It's no fair because there's 5 volumes of Critters to the 2 fucking volumes of the whatchamacallit.
See?
Oh my God. Was that sorbet?
Yeah, that's my little hitter that matches my sorbet.
Damn, I was like, holy fuck,
Nice.
was that? I thought it was a cup of sorbet.
Nice.
So that's awesome. But very cool. Okay, so that was that one. Pizza Hut or Little Caesars? I mean,
I'm gonna go Little Caesars.
I know both of y'all's answers off top, which is
I
going
know
to be
it was what was submitted to me.
Pizza.
Of course, I'm picking Little Caesars. I like what I like.
This is a tough one for me, and only because I know you Michigan natives are tried and true Little Caesars fans, and it's
for $5. It's economy. It's just it's affordable. And
it is economy, but I have to be in the mood for it. Like Pizza Hut, I can eat Pizza Hut at all times because Little Caesars has that. It's like that pancake dough. It's real sweet.
Sometimes
it always tasted like pizza on cake.
I will give props though to Pizza Hut. They have killer pizza as well. Their pan pizzas have again just like you say about Little Caesars. They have a very distinct
back in the day, Pizza Hut used to be okay, and then they changed over some time. They were like, "Hey, let's try to let everybody make their own pizza, and then we'll forget how to make pizzas."
Yeah, like, it used to be at some point in time.
Back to what it used to be with their old crust. They used to be as fat as it was with all the butter and everything, and you liked it because it was a good.
Yeah, he said, and you liked it because it was fat. But once upon a time, it was like kind of like a upscale place to go. Like if you won your championship baseball team, you got to go to Pizza Hut, and everybody sat down at a table and you got served, and it was like a restaurant out.
Cups of pudding and whatnot, and salad and all types.
Unlike Little Caesars, where get it and get the fuck out of here. We don't have nothing but waiting room in the lobby. But we don't want you to eat. So it was different,
Little Caesars used to be the shit too. When they were really good. When
Caesarland, he's gonna go with Caesarland.
Remember the Bigfoot?
No, they killed it. They killed it by not going back to the barbecue pizza with the brisket on it and all
that. That was a good pie.
If they brought that back, I think they would be running the game right now. But instead, they're sitting here bullshitting. And people, I see the pizza or they got that pretzel crust. Okay, but that is
love the pretzel crust. Pretzel crust is so good.
Pizza. Like you got to go
funny
back
though.
to that.
It's funny though because on the pretzel pizza, Fritz was like, "It's cheese pudding," and I laughed because I know what he's talking about. Because it's not for the pretzel pizza. It's not a marinara sauce, so it's like this like cheese, like an Alfredo, if you will, and then cheese atop that, and then your pretzel, and pretty much that's the fucking pizza. And he was like, "What, that cheese pudding they got on top?" He was pissed. He was legit pissed because I guess his kids ordered and he wasn't having it. So that was pretty fucking hilarious.
I'm also a little biased. In high school, at the end of high school, I actually worked at Pizza Hut, so I got to make my own pizzas. And when you get to make your own with their ingredients, I had a taste for it. That was my.
That's
give me a thin crust meat lovers. Oh,
is that at Pizza Hut? You said
he said
at Pizza Hut. See, I had the same experience. My sister used to work at Little Caesars, and she would get us off in the back, and let us in the back door and make our own pizzas there. So it was a shit. Like you do your own. That was
absolutely dope. It was. It's the shit when you can use how they get their tactics, but have your own ingredients of how you would do it, because it's a recipe. It's a recipe of how they lay it out. But if you shake that up and you don't put any sauce and it's just cheese and bacon, and it becomes like a crazy bread with that. Oh yeah, the concoctions one can come up with if left alone to their devices.
Pizza Hut's got this aerosol garlic.
I can hear you getting fatter.
Butter spray, delicious.
It's got aerosol garlic butter spray.
That's what they got there, and you spray it around.
They lost that, is what I'm saying, and I think they lost it. It used to be really good. Now it's like, what happened to it?
It would only go on the
They have this new thing now that, for lack of better terms, it's supposed to be cheese stuffed crazy bread, and for lack of better terms, it looks like a fucking 2 Hot Pockets in a bag full of cheese.
I mean,
it's insane.
Do they have mozzarella, or do they have the cheese stick crust pizza near your house?
I've
That's what they
seen
have
that.
near my
That's
house.
a Pizza Hut exclusive, sir.
They
And a
take the
hot
It's a
dog
stuffed
bites
crust
one.
pizza.
Oh
What
yeah.
the
Oh
fuck
yeah.
is
It's a
this?
football game waiting to happen, sir.
Just
Yeah.
when you need more cheese. Here it is.
Joe, I'm fucking the ones made of hot dogs. It's like little fucking crescent wieners all around the fucking pie. What the fuck?
I like the crescent
But
wiener
people
too.
get into novelty shit.
They're bullshit.
He said crescent wieners. Right. It's fucking stupid. But no, but you know, essentially I think it's novelty things. I think that's what brings the consumer out of their wallet, out of their, like, to come out, like, because at least you get me. If you tell me, like, there was something new, I absolutely forgot what it was though, but it was something new. It was like a new like one of the slush deals from Taco Bell or something like that. You fucking mix any candy with a slush and make that an exclusive. Oh, I will come through your drive-through and get one. Let me get a large. We about to try this. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm that guy. Like, I like the novelty shit. You bring the McRib back, it's a big to-do in my house.
I'm telling you,
They
like,
changed the McRib.
you need to
They
get.
changed it too
I'm
much.
telling you, you
They
need to
did.
get
They have changed it a lot though.
There's a spot I've been to a couple places, and I'm telling you,
People do be
nowadays
saying it.
it's getting more prevalent with like burgers like that. Like, they need to bring a burger out with a place like, even like I was there the other day. I went to the Five Guys franchise, got a burger there, and I was looking. It's like they have a lot of toppings, but they're missing a few. Like, what's up with the new peanut butter and jelly burger with jalapeno on it?
That's interesting.
Like, that's the people now. I'm telling you, it is good than a motherfucker to make it the right way.
But a lot of times,
you know, it's good, huh?
I was going to say, but a lot of times when people are given opportunities to build your own type of burger, pizza, whatnot, they go blank and they're like, I have no clue. But when you come up with concoctions and recipes and, like, you know, the PBJ pizza and it's on the menu, people will go and roll the dice on that product. So what I'm saying is, like, the more novelty or the more crazy, zany, a crescent wiener pizza. Hey, let's order a large and try it. A big,
right.
I know Primo's got that Coney
in a
pizza.
bag.
Oh, I bet.
Novelty shit, man.
Primos, like, damn, with Coney
Primos
hot dogs on the pizza all the way through.
He said Howie bread and
have
a
you seen
fork.
one, like, I've seen the one out there and have I think it's called American Pie, and it's much like CC's, right?
Okay.
And it's not too. It's like in Warren area, right? And I've been there a few times back in the day when I used to live out that way. And
for those who don't see CC's or the place he's talking, it's a pizza buffet. You go in, you pick as many slices, you pay one fee, and you eat it until you're full, and then you leave. Go ahead. I'm just bringing them up on game.
You can pick your own slices and all that crazy shit.
All that creepy shit. They got sneeze guards and all that good shit.
They carry their own Coney pizza.
Yeah.
And it's like got the pizza and the cone. The hot dogs are sliced like pennies all the way through it.
Fucking bastard
on there.
All you're missing is eggs
and onions on it. Mustard and onions on the slice, and you get the slice, and it's one of the pieces in the buffet that you can go pick up at the American Pie if it's still going on. So I was like, damn, they do make said Coney pizza with little pennies on it.
It comes with extra wide toilet paper.
Oh my God! See, and it's, again, if you give people some sort of an artisan example, they'll order that. Like, there's a place that makes a BLT pizza, crazy good, no marinara. It's like a mayonnaise with ranch powder, lettuce, plenty of tomatoes, pieces of crispy bacon. You put that in the oven, it's amazing. You figured hot lettuce. I think the lettuce goes on last. So I don't really.
They bring it off afterwards. They got mac and cheese.
Fair enough.
That CC. They got all kinds of
people
shit.
want new shit. People want new snacks. If you're gonna eat it and where the calories, it's gonna be fun and interesting.
Right.
Would you go Buddies or Giordano's?
Giordano's.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Buddies is good, but Giordano's just got something.
Giordano's has always been that's classy pizza to us.
What was your other one? What's the other option? Buddies. Oh, I'm going Giordano's all day for that. But if you were saying Pizza Populous or Giordano's, I don't know. That's a tougher. I think
that might be a tougher. That might be a little tougher. It might be Pizza Populous if you go that route.
I would go Pizza Populous if it went that route. But
I like
they're fucking deep dish pizzas like that.
I like that Giordano's is coming everywhere. Like, you got Giordano's in Las Vegas now. So it's like
Yeah.
everywhere now. That's cool.
That's fresh. No, that's really cool.
Man.
All right. Well, that's cool.
All right. Is that the last one you had?
No, I have more.
Oh,
I got the Mummy or the Werewolf. They drop them, I ask them.
Zombie or the werewolf?
No, the Mummy. The Mummy or the Werewolf.
Or the werewolf. Wow.
Got my answer locked in.
He said lock. Which one did you say?
I said locked in. I was waiting for y'all. You want me to go first?
I'll say it, but again, I feel if I ask it, I shouldn't say first because that's persuading the other guests. So I don't want to do that. I will hold my answer till the end, or at least if y'all don't say shit within a timely fashion.
Right. I think we both know, or we all know, that I don't really care much for those old Universal monsters. So I'm going to say, based solely on your friend, my friend, George's appearance.
Allow yourself to think out of the box for 1 second. It could be a modernized concept of either the Mummy and or werewolves.
Yes, it's
so
a great
if you think about the question a little more broader, it can maybe help you answer.
Do mummies have special powers?
With the Mummy, I figure there's a lot of Bubba Hotep, there's a lot of scarabs, there's a lot of mummification, there's a lot of Egyptian, there's a lot of that. With the werewolf, I figured anyone who is bitten by a werewolf.
They got the Brendan Fraser one. I mean, look at all the things. They have the Brendan Fraser mummy. They have different mummy versions. So it's like, there's all
Brendan Fraser
ideas of what's going on.
He said, "What did you say? Fuck Brendan Fraser? What just happened?
No,
why
I said,
I Brendan Fraser for? What do you do?"
I said you got the Brendan Fraser version.
If we go back to the teleporting, I'm going to the 90s
think about
to kick the shit out of him.
That's what I'm saying.
Keep that in mind. All I'm saying is keep that in mind because that version of that movie kind of gave the Mummy character a facelift. And when Universal, when I was last there with my family at Universal, there was a ride dedicated to the Mummy from that particular film, and it was probably one of the coolest rides I've ever been on. So it makes it hard for me to guess this one because in that vein, what they did with that character was astounding, but I would still probably go with the Wolfman because like when it was Frankenstein and Dracula, I immediately picked Dracula because there's more legacy and lore with vampires than with the made up monster. There's going to be more legacy and lore with the werewolves. It's fucking the premise of Twilight, vampires versus werewolf. It's the premise of Underworld, vampires versus the Lycans and the hybrid of vampires and werewolves. And you know what I mean? It was never like I'm just giving a premise of how I think that they're still prevalent in at least somewhat today's cinema. Pick.
I'm still going with Wolfman.
No.
Okay.
He said no.
What do you think? All day.
You said werewolf?
All right. I'm thinking where I'm going probably would be, I mean, I was on the same line with you at first because like I said, I started thinking of mummies and I'm like, there's all types of different incarnation of mummies.
There's a lot of room there,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes, so you're not always just the guy with wearing like, you're not just this guy all the time, the zombie wrapped in toilet paper.
Right, it's big. Right. It's a bigger character than that. Absolutely.
You could evolve and like come back like I said in the movies that they were making recently. So
plus like, the process of mummification is absolutely terrifying. Let's just throw that out there.
Plus you also could go back and then you could come back again, so multiple times. So it's like in an instance, it seems like it might be better to be a mummy because then you have the opportunities if you do fall out. Like you know what I mean? You come back, you might be able to bring yourself back, a la Ra's al Ghul.
Now you're upping it to a Lazarus pit because nothing but a silver bullet is taking down a werewolf. He can get blasted all day. He will heal Wolverine style. He will live again to another night. So he just upped the ante. He was like, well, with a Lazarus pit, everyone will be more evil.
I think I would go werewolf because he changes back occasionally, and he does have unbelievable powers, and probably
he's pretty cool. I mean, again, like I don't think there's ever been a movie that's really elaborated on what the mummy can and can't do.
I can't
It's always
believe
the curse of the
you guys
mummy.
just hated out that version. Like that's where I was going.
That guy, yeah, no, I agree. It wasn't the best movie in the world. It was just the idea and the concepts of kind of, it had a very Indiana Jones feel to it, but a little more of a scary story driven. So that was why it kind of was a little more open to me, because I was a fan of Indy. I put up with those kind of, National Treasure and that kind of Nick Cage kind of
Yes,
fiascos.
Nick Cage out there doing it, putting together, taking the fucking Declaration of Independence.
Good.
Just out there fighting the good fight. Like, Jesus Christ. All right, I got summer or winter.
Wow. Summer.
Now I got the hard-hitting questions, fellas.
Summer. I used to love winter when I was a child. Winter was great.
He said I don't like winter. I'm still picking winter, dude. Seriously, there's something about it. I don't prefer it because of the daytime sun aspect. Because sometimes it's nice to have a sunny day, but I like when the availability to put on that coat to warm up. Or such.
A sunny day in Michigan winter is a nice bright gray sky.
It is absolutely it is a special grunge record that you can live through. And I like grunge. So at times when you're feeling moody and you're just feeling like getting that big cup of coffee and that Snuggie on and just work it out, it's sometimes those days are fresh. Not in an elongated entire season worth, but we live in Michigan, so every day is something different.
Yeah, that's how it is, man.
It's probably snowing outside right now, and then when I'm done, I'll have to cut the lawn. So
it'll be nice.
It's crazy
you guys
like
got
that.
Fish flies yet?
What's that?
You guys got them fish flies up there yet?
No, that's usually it should be coming up. To be honest, it attacks St. Clair shores, and then it works its way to our
They're becoming fishmen now.
Now they have fish man. Oh my God, that's creepy. Okay. Two more. Light bright or etch a sketch?
Which light bright?
Light bright.
Sketch? Wow.
Light bright or etch a sketch?
Light bright.
It's fun making things with light bright.
Yeah. It is. Mike just bought one the other day.
Not a actual like a perfect box, not a perfect square. It's just almost a perfect square with an etch a sketch.
Just etch a sketch is just no fun. It's a cool idea. Yeah, right. This guy. It's a cool idea, but the concept of
somebody who can do it is the shit. I admire that they can do it, but I can't do it.
Which one I thought was a little more cool than an etch a sketch? Remember that one where it would be a face
versus Willy Willy.
Jesus Christ. Remember that one where it would be a face and it would be a bunch of metal shavings at the bottom and you got a magnet, you could put the mustache on with the metal shavings. Those were fucking dope. Those are something that technology forgot. It's probably fucking toxic. Who knows? The shit they let us play with as kids is probably why we're fucked up today.
That's a sketch.
Yep. And there's radiation coming off of this Teddy Ruxpin over here.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. And lastly, this is probably a no-brainer, but an interesting one nevertheless. Comedy or horror?
Whoa.
Yeah, man.
I'll let you guys answer first.
Yeah, I asked it. I dealt it.
I like both. So
you said I dealt it.
But yeah.
I do like both.
But I would
horror.
probably, I don't know. I like it's tough for me because sometimes I would pick comedy over, but yeah, I don't know. When we're out on the road, I usually choose to pick horror.
I say horror. I would pick horror just because
horror all day.
You know what? And here's a half-ass excuse why, but an excuse nonetheless. You don't see many comedy gathering conventions. Groupings, people together. You don't see many people gather in one spot to celebrate comedies, but you do see people come together and group up together to celebrate horror movies. We have Motor City Nightmares. There's well, hold on, give me a second. Maskalooza. It's like you know what I'm talking about, right? Mad Monsters events. There's like at least 5 events. Fangora, Horror Hound.
Right.
Thank you. Yeah. So there's so many events that are geared to the love and celebrating the art of horror. and all things inclusive, from people taking old paintings and painting them
Monster
horror,
Mania.
or jewelry, whatever the fuck it is. It's a celebration of it. So I pick horror, but that's not to say that I don't enjoy comedy or that I don't respect it as a medium. Comedy's the shit. Comedy's probably one of
Like,
the
to be
freshest
fair,
things.
when we're on tour, it's there is not a horror or comedy. That's the only two things we watch is horror
It's true,
and comedy.
and that's why. But
Yeah,
that's why it was such a great question. That's why it was such a great question, because
That's it.
If I
That's
had
it.
to pick,
Right.
most of the time I'm going horror.
Me too, because I feel that there's those little lapse moments inside of the horror where I'll find my comedy.
Yeah.
Where's the corkscrew, Ted? Ted, where's the corkscrew? That's comedy to me. I'm good. I got my film. Let's move on.
No, you're gonna say that without going with his dance?
Yeah.
Come on.
Like, yeah.
Better
But
get
it's like,
down.
it's that kind of shit. It's that kind of shit that where you find the horror in there or whatever. And it's like, I pick horror. I thought that was a good one.
That's it.
All right.
man.
So yeah, horror it is. I have go ahead. You go what you have now. You have anything?
Well, I mean, I would throw something in, but we already have reached our mark. We're at an hour.
Oh, no shit. I thought we started 15 minutes in.
Smooth hour.
I thought we started 15 minutes in.
We already did.
It's 4:15. That's an hour on.
We've been doing it. Look, I got one I'll leave you guys with. Okay. Let's leave one. This is it. How about Godzilla or King Kong?
Both are from the Island of Monsters. Both have ups and downs.
Both of them are in the game Rampage.
Both were in the game Rampage.
Okay.
I think the real sleeper is Madra.
Oh, come on.
Madra. I think that's the unanimous answer here. But
guys, we're keeping up on the new movies.
Madra.
If you're keeping up on the new movies, you might have seen that they were trying to bring them together out here in this legendary monster series stuff. And I think they had, it looked like to me, because I watched the movie, and it's kind of tough to, because the way they jump right into this stuff, because, everybody says they don't jump into the action quick enough. Well, they don't tell a story enough, kind of, because they don't let you know that this guy's brother might have been gone from the first season or movie, and you missed that. And now jump in the second movie, and now here's Godzilla, and he meets Mothra, and they're friends.
Madra.
There was a good, if I'm not mistaken, there was a really well at least filmed. I don't know about how acted, but a very well filmed. So Peter Jackson.
They had the
Peter
guy
Jackson did a
Breaking Bad, and it was interesting. And like I said, so I'm interested to see, because it looked like they were, like they were showing the island of King Kong and an awakening of some sort near the end of the movie. I don't know.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't King Kong come from the Island of Monsters as well?
What's that?
I say correct me if I'm wrong.
He
kind of comes from underneath the sea.
That's Abominable Snowman. You got all confused over
His name was Bumble.
It was Bumble. Bumble. He was all right. So
he comes from the ocean.
Okay. Well, no, because I just remember the setup from the old school ones that we would watch as kids, Ultraman and all that shit. And I remember it being like when they would go to Godzilla versus the island, or from the Island of Monsters, or what have you the title was, but like they would go to the island and you would see like not necessarily Mecha Godzilla, but it would be like that one with the three heads. It was like a fucking dragon with three heads and wings. There was Madra. Right. There was Rodan. There was King Kong. There was all of them in the rendition that I thought I could be wrong, and that's what I was saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I wasn't sure if King Kong was from the Island of the Monsters. That was the question I was asking.
He was from the Island of Dr.
It's a tough one. Like I said, if you watch the Peter Jackson reimagining of King Kong, it's really, really longy, but it's amazingly filmed. I just seen like a couple minutes of it yesterday, and it was fucking like wow. But like the new Godzilla movie for me, just because you put the guy from Breaking Bad in 11 in it doesn't mean I'm gonna be head over heels for it. So I don't know.
All right.
That's where I'm at with it. I don't know. Did you see it? I can't speak on it. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. I don't know that I've seen hardly any of the Godzilla or King Kong movies or any of that. I was going off of Rampage. The only thing I really know of them, and I would go with King
I didn't
Kong.
see the Rampage movie. Used to play the video game, but there was also another one that was kind of in that same vein, almost dropped at the same time, which was Pacific Rim, and it was pretty much like this kind of, these people in some kind of area all hooked up to the machines, and they control these gigantic monster sized, and they would fight monsters. So it kind of had like that Johnny Sacco kind of vibe, Power Ranger deal or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't. It's not really my bag. I don't know. What do you
like it?
What do you got?
He didn't like it. He said he didn't want to.
He said he didn't like it. No, I picked Madra. I picked
next time. I'm gonna bring
choice Madra.
Next time I'm gonna bring our guy, our guy on all things monster related movie, legendary monsters, and that's gonna be Lee Carver. I think we're gonna have to get him on here because he does know a lot about this stuff and what they were supposed to be doing when they were. So yeah, I think we should get him on there. Maybe we'll talk monsters more next time.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Sometime we'll have to figure out when we can get him on, but we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll get him on.
I'm with it.
Right?
Fuck yeah.
Hey, thank you, Dustin, having me on. Thank you, Madrox, once again.
Yes,
thank you for joining us, and I hope we got some of your this or that's answered, and some your day had some entertainment. And
hell yeah,
yeah, man, love y'all.